Okay. We are using a new streaming platform. Today's day one. So we made sure we got to the studio extra early to make sure we were doing it right. Right now, it looks like, oh, there we are. And it's going live on Instagram. Voila.
There we go.
All right. So far it's pretty flawless, which is nice when you're trying something new. But happy Monday,
Hi,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks so much for joining us. I don't know what's going on where you guys are, but we have a rainy day in South Florida, which we do need.
Yeah, we do.
So
We do.
can't complain. Besides, it does make you want to stay at home and lie around. I can see it makes you feel lazy. So happy that we're here and we don't have the option to be lazy.
Sure.
Yeah. So today we're talking about, well, let's just say our title. Actually, before we do that, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel if you don't already. That way you don't miss a beat and you get to share what we teach you guys with everybody else. It also helps us in the process. And while we are talking in the chat section, ask questions. That kind of can be as your Q&A or comments, whatever. And we will do our very best to address the comments or the questions, I'm sorry, that pertain to the topic today, which is glow from the inside out, the truth about healthy skin. And I like this one a lot because it really is true that so many of us treat our skin just from the outside in, and you don't realize that there's the outside in and the inside out approach to healthy skincare. So we're going to combine all of it together. And yeah, I guess really we're going to talk about why clean skin care matters. Our complete Live Good skincare system will address that, not to mention our whipped tallow balm. Collagen, hydration, and inflammation, how they play a role. The gut-skin connection, which you might not think of. Lifestyle habits that impact skin health, and how to build healthier, more radiant skin naturally. And if you're a guy, don't hang up.
No, for sure.
This is important for you guys too, because our skin is our largest organ. And just because you might not feel like you're as, let's just say vain as some, females can be, or you don't care necessarily about the appearance, you need to take care of your organ. Again, it's important. It's about taking care of yourself, regardless. So it's not just about this vanity and looking good. You're caring for your body. So yeah, it's not just wrinkles and beauty, guys.
From a guy's point of view, it's the same. For me, it's like I really don't care, but at the same time, I could only imagine how bad my skin would look if I did not do the things that I'm already doing. And I already do think my skin looks. I think I'd look old, right? Aged a lot. I just do. I think that a lot. I look, gray hair, and my skin is getting thinner, and there's definitely some areas where a lot more wrinkles and such. But I will tell you, the skincare line has been a joy to work with. Like, it actually created a nice routine for me, and I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm happy he jumped on board.
Yeah.
Because again, I do know that most men don't necessarily treat their skin how they should. So this training is actually for everybody. And also, again, we're going to address how inflammation, hydration, hormones, and stress affect our skin. And I'm sure you know that because, if things are all in sync in your life and you're feeling great, people will comment, wow, your skin looks so good. You look so bright and radiant. And you're like, oh, I haven't changed.
You get a ton of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's really important. You got to take care of it in so many different ways. Other things that affect it, your gut health, of course, your nutrition. Huge. Circulation, sleep. We do know sleep. Gosh, we know that happens.
Oh, sure.
And just environmental exposure. So let's talk about that, toxic burden that we are unfortunately exposed to. So the best skincare routine supports the skin both externally and internally, right? So we really have to make sure we're touching it all. Good?
Oh, you asking? Yeah.
No,
totally
I was just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with why clean skincare matters.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by clean skincare, right, is we're not just going to the store and willy-nilly purchasing something off the shelf that we know nothing about because you don't know the ingredients. Just like how we educate on the same thing when you go to buy, a supplement in the store, we talk about you can't just pick up any one. You need to know about the testing and what's in it, what's not in it, and all that. So it's very important because, again, we're intentional about, or we should. Everybody should, but most are intentional about your food ingredients, right? We're learning that you go to the store and you don't just go buy a Twinkie, right? You stay on the outside of the aisles. If you're going to buy something packaged, read the ingredients, read everything. We were educated on avoiding artificial dyes, preservatives, toxins, ultra processed foods. But so many people really do overlook what they put on their skin. Again, they just go to like a drugstore, a Walmart, a CVS, and just grab, oh, this is on sale today, I'm going to grab that. And even some very well-known brands, will have ingredients in there that you really should be putting on your skin every day. So it's important to know that. And it becomes challenging because, I mean, I personally think skincare ingredients are a lot more challenging to understand than food, because what we say, like when you're reading a food package, like if you don't know how to pronounce it, or if that ingredient is not a food item, put it down. Well, it's different when it's with your skin, with skincare, because it's not necessarily food ingredients. So harder to understand. So this is why education really matters and plays a role. Again, being intentional what we put on our body, just like we teach you guys all the time about being intentional about what you put in your body. All right. So a little bit about skin barrier.
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
I'm hoping we would get there. Sure.
It's protective, right?
Yeah.
So we needed to protect us from environmental stressors. Sure. Yeah. I mean, we apply products daily, often multiple times a day. So again, you're putting something on. We instruct morning and evening, right? But some people use it more, so you have to think about like time. So over time, you're using this all the time. Like ingredient quality really, really, really matters. And the goal with skincare too is you want to support the skin, not overwhelm it. More isn't always better. Right. You could clog skin, you could do all this crazy stuff, but like you just need the proper ingredients in the right order and the right manner to support the skin. We don't want things that strip, like hard stripping cleansers. That's a big one where like really will break up that skin barrier. And we need to, it's a very important part of our skin. So we don't want harsh stripping cleansers. We don't want fragrance products. That's a big one. So like these fake fragrances, artificial fragrances, what do we use? Blue Lotus, which if you notice a scent, that's kind of along the lines of, we didn't scent the tallow balm, but the scents that are in here is Blue Lotus, right? It's a natural, it's a natural essential oil. It is not an artificial fragrance. They're very disruptive for your skin. And some people, overly sensitive people, can have a really nasty reaction. Also overly aggressive ingredients. And it's funny, I actually noticed this stuff with like the overly aggressive fragrance kind of ingredients, because I'm sure if you have children that are anywhere from the 10 to maybe 20-year-old range, skincare has like gone out of control, probably because of TikTok and all this stuff. And kids younger are just wanting all of these products. And anytime, I don't buy them for my kids, but say they have a birthday party and they get this product, I'm not going to take it away from them. I'll let them use it through, but their skin gets so irritated, right? So irritated. They're overly aggressive ingredients. And I know like a younger skin is more sensitive, but even if, we have an older, more mature skin that's not as sensitive, we still shouldn't be putting these aggressive ingredients on us. And that's kind of what I have right here. It's like trend-based skin damage, right? We're following all of these trends because social media is in our face all the time with this stuff. And then also over-exfoliation. Another reason we're stripping these barriers that are so important for us. Okay. So healthy skin is not created by attacking it. So why does it thrive? Yeah. It thrives when our barrier is protected, when hydration is supported, when inflammation is minimized, and nourishment is consistent, which I have our other supplements we're going to pull into this. We'll address it all. And clean skin doesn't, like a clean skincare line doesn't mean it's ineffective. I feel like that's a common thing where people think like, oh, well, I need that chemical to do the job. Right. If it doesn't burn, it's not working. Yeah. Right. I mean, hey, I used to think that too. Like when I used to put something on my skin and it burned, I'm like, yes, it's doing something good. No, that's kind of should be a little bit of a warning sign. And it's too much for your skin, especially if you're doing something every day. Maybe when you go and get a facial, you could do something to do a little bit of a deeper something. Okay, maybe it could burn a little bit, but this is not something that routinely should be doing to our skin. And luxury skincare can still prioritize better ingredients, but unfortunately they don't. in effective skincare, it nourishes and supports. So this is what we have going on here. This was the main background and driver for our Live Good line, right? Being effective by nourishing and supporting the skin. That's it. It's very simple. Thoughtful formulations, quality ingredients, right? I mean, that was our goal. And another thing, with skincare is, as just like with supplements, but it's way overpriced.
Oh,
And that's a major thing too. It's like, oh, buy this eye serum for $78 every month. Yeah. That's just an eye serum. Then you need this, then you need that. And it's like out of control.
It is out of control.
Really is out of control. So
I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they spend the money.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's not. It's
very expensive.
Right.
For junk.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about main contributors to aging skin.
Age.
It's not just age. Of course, age is going to do something to your skin, right? We do lose the collagen. We have to work harder on the hydration, and just naturally, what happens with age. But other things that we can work on, like the chronic inflammation, how can we work on this, right? We can avoid sugar. We can avoid processed food. We can work on our stress, keeping it at bay. We can sleep properly. We can avoid alcohol or minimize it. We could avoid smoking and really reduce these environmental toxins that we're exposed to. And environmental toxins too, it can also be the ingredients like in your skincare. And then UV exposure.
Yeah, excessive UV.
UVB. We do need the sun. It is healthy for us at a certain degree, right? So we need the vitamin D coming from the sun. And another thing that can cause oxidative stress is pollution. So I know that's hard because you might live in an area that is heavily polluted. So you just have to be more careful, take care of your skin a little bit better. We talked about collagen declining, menopause, unfortunately, with that drop in estrogen.
Yeah, hormonal changes.
Yes. Sure. I think the biggest one, though, is the drop in estrogen. And out of nowhere, boom, your skin becomes like super thin. And that's unfortunate. So we want to, keep balanced hormones. Dehydration, we talked about hydration amplifier, blood sugar.
Of course.
Blood sugar plays a major role. Sugar accelerates skin aging.
Yep.
So yes, gosh, I feel like that's all I'm constantly saying to my children. And then gut. So you might know this, or you might not, but a lot of times when somebody talks to me about acne, I think first, let's go to the gut. And I know like acne can be very hormonal, especially like teenage acne going through the hormones, but it's also really important to have a healthy gut flora, because we also detox through our skin, right? So like the breakouts and all that can come with nastiness going on in the gut. It causes acne. If we have a dysbiosis, acne, redness, puffiness, eczema. Again, I've said this before in certain trainings. I don't know what we were talking about. Probably something to do with inflammation. But I was saying when you get eczema, you typically go to a dermatologist to get on a product, a chemical that's going to help reduce your eczema. And then you don't really realize it can be coming from your gut.
Yeah. And a lot of times, so like, again, in my pharmacy world where we compound like specific topical treatments, you'll see an eczema treatment would include a topical corticosteroid, right? Like people probably know hydrocortisone or triamcinolone, but also like an antifungal because of the yeast.
Right.
Right.
And so, that's a lot for your skin.
And that's not it, but typically that include at least those two things. And so people report great results with it, but man, you're using the steroid to knock down the inflammation. You're using the antifungal to quell some of that fungus, right? Yeast growth,
right.
It's occurring. And again, where did it stem from? Could it be from the gut?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And people probably get a little confused. Well, how can my skin correlate to my gut? But you'd be surprised in the same way that like mold spores and exposures can colonize and do different things in different parts of your body.
Yeah.
And the messaging and the signals that are sent because the microbiota, like these microorganisms have a communication network, and there's a lot of it's a very interesting study between gut, skin health, gut, brain health, gut,
The gut is involved in
Yeah.
in so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to make sure, again, like you were saying, with you go to get these chemicals to put on your skin.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're not treating the root cause, it's just going to come back. And it's going to be this vicious cycle as the medication clears it
Yeah,
up.
correct. Yeah, of course.
Then a couple months later
Yeah.
it comes
And
back,
most
get
people
back
just
on the
keep the skin.
medication
Most people keep that compound in their,
and use it as necessary.
use it as
Yeah,
needed.
yeah.
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 It's just a
So
becomes like a lifelong thing.
yeah. So let's address the root cause,
But we've
guys.
seen plenty of cases where eczema has been totally eliminated
Mhm.
by diet, usually through dietary alterations,
Right.
right?
I mean,
Changing someone's nutrition.
yeah. I mean, our 13-year-old, and she
Oh, yeah, same
started
with her.
she
Sure.
started young with eczema, and it was always on the inside of her ankles. And I could never figure it out. So maybe this is now at 3 years old. I just decided to stop all gluten and dairy.
Gluten and dairy, yeah.
And then I tried one at a time to see, and it was the gluten. So she doesn't have celiacs. She's gluten sensitive in that regard. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily, she doesn't notice it in her gut, but it appears as eczema. So we control it at home, but a lot of times when we're traveling and eating out a lot, right? The kids love like the grilled cheese and the pasta and then this and that. It's a little bit harder. And she'll notice the eczema breakouts, and I just keep educating her on, it's an inflammatory reaction that's going on because of the gluten. So keep that in mind. Okay, well, let's talk about what you have here. Let's talk about, and somebody just said they love the facial cleanser. It is very nice. So it's a foam, which is good, and it lathers really nice, smells really fresh. It's actually a gentle amino acid based cleanser, and it's designed to remove dirt, oil, makeup, and daily impurities. Guys, you have daily impurities on you. Yes, I mean, I know you're not wearing makeup, and you might not notice your oil, but we've got dirt and pollution and things that sit on our skin. You have to get it off before you go to bed, and do not use that bar of soap and just rub it on there, because you're just going to ruin the integrity of your skin barrier. And I would say that that's what, when we were first dating,
Yeah, just
he would just bar soap or any hand soap right there, and I was like, lucky for him, he was young and he could handle it. But you've got to make sure you're taking care of, this is step one, right? Step one. And you're not stripping the skin barrier. Ceramides, nourishing oils, barrier support. I mean, wonderful ingredients in here. Okay. And what do we have next? Our step two. We haven't gone through the steps in a while. I should have put them in the right order. Okay, so our step two is our herbal radiance toner, which I love this.
I do too.
I think this is probably one of your favorites.
Yeah, it is.
It just is really nice. It's a refresh. It's a rebalance. It helps prep the skin for what's coming next. Supports pore refinement. It's lightweight hydration support. It smells great. It is nice and gentle. Our girls use it too, with no negative reaction with their young skin, which is nice. Toners should refresh and support, not burn or overly dry out the skin. Which, if you notice, a lot of times, gosh, I remember when, I don't know what the brand was, but when I was younger, I used to always came in like a little tub thing. They had the little pads. Each day was a pad. And I remember my fingers would get so raw and peely from it too. It was just like, it's so aggressive. This is definitely not. It's wonderful. Then our Aegis Renewals, our anti-aging serum, put all over. Oh, we actually have, it's bigger now. It's a bigger a bigger bottle, like twice the size, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So, which is great. But this is your daily serum. This is for guys, girls, morning, night, peptides, antioxidants, helps smooth the appearance, fine lines and wrinkles, helps with firmness, radiance, right? We don't like that dull looking skin. Nobody likes to have that dull, draggy, gray looking skin. This really helps. And, it also remember, aging skin is heavily connected to inflammation and oxidative stress. So it's really important to use these serums to help combat that. And then our instant youth. So this is for small areas of fine lines and wrinkles. Okay. This is not to be put all over the face. You will notice it can have like a dry, if you put too much, especially if you put it all over, teeny little bit, pat it. So a lot of times people like to use it around the eyes for a little tightening effect, a little crow's feet. Smile lines, like your little areas that maybe drive you nuts. This is where you spot treat. This is for spot treating. That's why it's also smaller and staying in a smaller bottle, because it's not meant to be used all over your face. This serum, face, neck, décolleté, everything. Good stuff. Which one do you put all over you?
That one.
Okay.
Ageless.
So yeah, you were
Yeah.
telling the story
Yeah,
the
I
other
did the
day.
other day.
The girls, our girls were watching him. Like, what are
Laughing
you
and making fun
doing?
of
And
me.
he like put like 3 pumps of Ageless and put all over his
All over
face
her
and his
and
hair.
yeah.
Whatever works. Okay, and then the last step in our skincare pack is the Vita Glow Hydrating Moisturizer. Again, that Blue Lotus scent, so delicious. It locks in the hydration, feels really good. You feel soft and radiant. And I saw somebody put on there about oily skin. Not oily. Not oily. So if you do notice the oily skin, make sure you're doing these step by step. Make sure don't skip out on the toner. Also, supports our barrier function. I mean, again, holding hydration in is a very important part of the moisturizer. And then our whipped tallow balm. So if you haven't tried this, please do. It is such a wonderful nourishment that supports the skin barrier. This is oilier. This is leaves, so
very oily.
So nighttime use is great. You can do all of this and then almost treat it as like a little, excuse me, nighttime mask. But you can put it all over hands, hair, whole entire body, whatever works that you really need that lock in that hydration. So I love it as my nightly. I kind of treat it as a mask. So I go through my steps and then this one goes on as my nighttime mask. And of course, my hands. I'm always big about hydrating my hands. So that's a good one for it too. Dry skin, cracked skin, cuticles, I mean, whatever. Knees get dry, elbows get dry. So yeah, I mean, amazing stuff. I don't have the prices on my top of my head right now, but guys, this is like, if you look at this is pennies compared to what you're buying in a store or online at some fancy skincare line. All right. So now we got to go. We did what we put on, and now we got to go skincare from within. So we're going to run through this because we talk about these supplements all the time. Did you say? No. You feel like he's signaling something to me. We talk about all of our supplements all the time, but I'm going to roll them in on how this helps our skin. And of course, we know collagen peptides. Okay. We could say this over and over again. Collagen. We lose collagen as we age. We talked about perimenopause and menopause when our estrogen plummets. We lose collagen significantly fast. So it supports our skincare, elasticity, hydration, hair, nails, joints. Wonderful stuff. Then we have for inflammation. We talked about inflammation. We talked about oxidative stress, omega-3 support. You have to be taking this. Again, all of this stuff, taking it internally is going to help your skin. Hydration amplifier, said many times on here about how hydration plays a major role. So make sure you are drinking your water and taking a hydration amplifier every day, because water alone won't do the trick. Promise you that, but you have to consume enough water as well. Our super greens and super reds. Okay, circulation support. Circulation is very important for the skin, right? Not to mention we're adding antioxidants in there, nutrient deliveries to your skin, whole foods, detox support, right? So we need to help our body. Again, it's going to detox through your skin. So you kind of want to help the process of detoxing as well. And then our multivitamins, magnesium, vitamin D, nutrient deficiencies will show up in your skin, your nails, your hair. You might notice it a lot in your nails, right? There might be like a little ripple or some white lines. Kind of ask Dr. Google, and it can typically lead to some nutrient deficiency. Taking your magnesium helps with the stress and sleep and helps repair our skin while we sleep. And then the vitamin D, it's immune and skin health connection. And then we talked about the gut, right? So we have a probiotic gut support. We talked about the gut skin axis. Gut health and skin health are deeply connected. And as I always talk about it, if you guys listen to our calls, what I have here is our foundational 5-pack. Obviously you would pick one of the men's or women's multis. And this is what to me, it's a non-negotiable. It's not like, what should I take? Well, you should be taking this to start, and then we can stack on. So it's easy stuff that we should be doing every single day. Have you seen any questions coming in? You don't have any questions?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. And just other little things, make sure protein intake. We do have our protein powders. They really, really help you get the adequate protein that you need per day, because it's hard to do it without supplementing with a protein powder that, boom, 20 grams of protein for 100 calories. Hard to do that without going over calories. Watch sugar, sleep, stress. We talked about all that fun stuff. All right. What did you see anything? You said you were looking? Yes or no? Oh.
There was a comment about a daughter having a rash on her face, and I would say try what Lisa said is an elimination. You see that question? Maybe a little higher. But you got to want to start with elimination. Dairy, gluten, start there for sure. Watch the food intake, watch the added sugars, ultra processed foods. But typically when there's a rash, that's not when you want to use skincare products. That's not the time.
You want to calm down what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone was saying, so you need all the products for them to work right. Well, I mean, look, it's a pack for a reason. You don't necessarily, but you have to clean your skin. You should tone your skin. An anti-aging serum is crucial, and a moisturizer. So you just have to make sure you're touching on these. I don't know what else you have that you're using, but regardless, all of those should be used. Someone said, yeah, definitely try the tallow balm at night as a mask, and your hair.
I agree with that.
Oh, there's the big rash on her cheeks, right? Yeah. I mean, first address the root causes, address the gut. Again, like Dr. Ryan was saying, if you have something going on, might be a better start here, right? To address the gut health, the inflammation, the nutrient deficiencies, all of that. Load in some antioxidants, hydrate properly. And then when things kind of calm down and you're nourishing from the inside out, then nourish from the outside in. We do not have SPF yet, but make sure you wear your sunscreen. That would go on the last step.
Well, your sunscreen would go on, again, you want some healthy sun exposure. So you just don't want excessive amounts to where you're burning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's where you get your vitamin D. People say, get out early, get in the sun, usually before 10 a.m., after 4, but you can get decent sun exposure without hurting your skin.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Kelly says the foam cleanser feels just like the pricey spa. It's light and powerful at the same time. It's wonderful.
Lisa was saying about the barrier. It's an immune system function, right? The skin barrier is so critically important. But when you start applying things to the skin, like she was talking about toxin load, and the way that we look at like food as being one category, well, skincare, a lot of these things, depending on the weight of the molecule. So there's a certain kind of rule of thumb for size of a molecule, whether it can be transdermal and pass into the bloodstream. But that like 500 Dalton rule. But it has a lot to do with the size, the weight of the molecule. It has a lot to do with its solubility, whether it's fat soluble, water soluble, different factors. And some of these things can readily penetrate the skin and get into and absorb through the dermal layer and get absorbed into the bloodstream. So it does contribute, right, to your toxic burden, to your toxic load, which then, of course, does things like increase your oxidative stress and the free radical generation, which is like, again, part of that whole cascade of events that drives up inflammation. And you'd be surprised. So a lot of these skincare products that I've looked at, and Lisa really has too, I mean, it's like crazy what's in there. And you're like, oh boy, those are not good things. We formulate always with no parabens, no phthalates, no synthetic fragrances. Always have that in mind, clean label, European Union approved. We've looked at all of that, take it all into consideration. And one thing, I don't know if you had it on there too, but like surprisingly, exercise has shown so good lifting though, not like long marathon type stuff, but like lifting weights is shown to increase skin elasticity, right? How fast your skin snaps back, increase the depth of the dermis, so increases collagen production.
Does that have to do with like circulation, you think?
I think it has to do with the calling of the muscle and the proteins, right? Because when you talk about collagen, it's an amino acid sequence. It's unique. That's where your collagen production comes from. But they're all called in action. I mean, collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. So when you are straining and you're working hard and you're pulling and you're kind of, sometimes things get tight and forces the body to respond accordingly. And collagen is so critical, like you said, as we age. And the cool thing about this product is not only does it have collagen, but it also has other compounds that will inhibit the enzyme that breaks down collagen and elastin. So like it'll inhibit the breakdown. It'll slow the breakdown process. these are all contributing factors, right? Things that we do. Start young and you look like Lisa. Start later and you look like me. Like it's just it does require some discipline, but I think once you start doing it, it does feel good. And maybe it's not noticeable to you because you're in the mirror almost every single day, but you do know you're doing something healthy for your skin and your body, and you're
yeah, guys,
taking care of yourself.
Yeah, and this is fast.
It's fast, easy, simple. Doesn't cost a fortune.
Minute, 1 to 2 minutes,
Yeah.
boom.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't think of it as being too much.
Right.
Yeah. So healthy skin. What did I want to say? Oh, taking care of your skin is also like a cumulative effect. So and consistency really matters. So topically, right? So what you put on, consistency matters as what you put in.
Sure.
Consistency matters, right? You can't just do it here, do it there, and expect to see results. And healthy aging is the goal, but it's like we're not asking for, it's not perfection, right? Because we're aging, but it's a healthy aging, right? So healthy skin is not about chasing perfection. It's about nourishing and supporting the body both internally and externally, so your skin can function and look its best naturally, right? Yeah. Naturally, that's the goal.
Naturally,
yeah.
No retinols,
right?
No harsh ingredients,
right? Keep it natural. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining. I feel like there were lots of comments, not much questions, which is great. But if I missed something, you always know you can reach me via email and share this with your friends and your family. And yeah, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.